We're following breaking news as we continue this noon. A code red lockdown has been lifted now at Brentwood Elementary School.
We told you about this story at the top of our newscast. WRAL's Matt Tallhelm was live at Southeast Raleigh High School where a code red lockdown had been lifted, and now he has moved to Brentwood Elementary School. What's going on there?
Right, Renee. Yeah, that lockdown was lifted about 12 minutes ago. Let me walk you through what was just sent out in this message to parents here. They tell us from the school system that there was a threat this morning. A student reported to a teacher that another student may have a weapon. That has all been cleared. There is no problem here. The students are safe, but I do want to show you down the line here. Look at that line of cars. These are parents coming here to Brentwood Magnet Elementary School to pick up their children. Obviously, this is a scary moment for parents. I want to bring in one of those parents of a second grader here at Brentwood Elementary School, John Scarborough. You got that message, a text message this morning right around 11:16 saying your daughter's school is on code red lockdown. What's that feel like when you get that message, knowing all these threats that are going on?
Put your stomach. It just gets cold and tight. You're almost certain it's not an issue, but there's just too much that we've seen go on here in Wake County that you just can't take it as a non-threat.
You said you were actually able to know exactly where your daughter was. Tell us how you discovered where she was, because she wasn't inside a classroom when this lockdown started.
That's correct. She was at recess, and since my daughter has one of the Gab phone locators, as soon as she broke the geofencing that we had set up on it, we got a notification that showed that she'd been moved to the Brentwood Park, which is adjacent to the school.
You come down here, you see all of the other parents here. There's a line of parents at the school up at the door here, obviously, to take their kids home for the day. What is your plan with your daughter, and how does this feel? Do you feel that she's safe and secure at school?
I know they have a good plan, and I know the administrators at this school execute the plan. It's pretty obvious from we saw what they did. They had the threat. They went into their pre-planned evacuation for where she was at and locking down the students that would be safe otherwise. But we have a lot of potential issues here. Kids can get hurt, staff can get hurt, and they're just not really prepared to address that.
And it doesn't get any easier, I imagine. It's still scary. You get that message.
Absolutely. My wife was frantic. And we think about it all the time when they just did a field trip, and what happens if something happens on a field trip. Thank goodness I was chaperoning, but you just, helplessness.
What's your message to the school system? What needs to be done to make sure that this does not continue, that we don't see another 6 threats like we saw Friday, at least 2 today?
Well, we dodged a bullet literally at Brentwood Middle School. That student could have decided to turn that weapon on his teacher or his classmates. We need to move. We need to move quickly. We've had reports. We've had studies. It's time to execute the recommendations of those research studies.
John Scarborough, I'm glad everyone, your daughter and all the other students here are safe at this point, but obviously, that shakes up a parent, a second grader, a student, especially in an elementary school like this. But once again, everyone is safe here. That lockdown, that code red lockdown lifted about 13 minutes ago here at Brentwood Elementary School after a student reported that another student may have a gun. Also at Southeast Raleigh High School, that code red lockdown has been lifted, and we are told no weapon was found there in those threats that came into that school as well.
Matt, relieved to hear that there's no credible threat there, but it has to be so frustrating for families who go through this at all these different schools that are under these lockdowns, and then as police investigate. Matt Tallhelm from Brentwood Elementary School.